Hello there, Star Wars fans, and welcome back to another RebelScum.com video review. Today's video review is sponsored by our good friends over at Hasbro. This is the Sabine Wren that they sent to us in our Ahsoka promotional mailer box, and this is one I've been wanting to get to for a minute now, and here she is. This Sabine looks really, really awesome. Love that we now have her painted Mandalorian blaster pistols, which do look pretty good, at least in the packaging. We've got the saber that was Ezra's that she modified and made more hers. Then, of course, there's her helmet right there. On the side, we've got that side profile artwork. On the back, we've got some words and things. And that's pretty much it for the packaging. And here is Sabine out of the packaging, and I wanted to start with the helmet on so we could see all of the armor together. And first thoughts on the helmet on is the helmet's a little on the big side. It's a little wiggly and loose on the figure there. And if you kind of have it at a straightforward-like position, you can see her chin just kind of hangs out the bottom there. So at that point, just make your adjustments as you're posing your figure. Try to get that chin more in the chin spot. And the helmet does work with you a little bit there in that regard. That is the one benefit to the helmet having, I guess, plenty of space in there, is you can kind of position it and maneuver it to where it does look right. But even still, it just, I don't know, it looks a little on the big side to me. Paint job wise though, I think it's pretty on point. I think they nailed the paint pattern based off of the series. Paint pattern on the chest armor looks good. You've got the right pauldron here that's painted one way. You've got the left pauldron here that's painted the other way. On the back of her armor is actually painted as well, which is nice. Same with the gauntlets, front and back. You've got that paint pattern on both gauntlets, front and back, which is also very nice. Painted shins, and I think this is a pretty decent figure, just based off of how we see her in the Ahsoka series. I'm glad that they went with her full armored look too, and that face sculpt is also pretty decent, I think. Nice purple hair there. I'm hoping at some point in the future we get another release of Sabine from earlier in the season, pretty much from, I guess, just the first episode really, where she's got the jumpsuit and she's got the long hair, and that would be a good release also, I think, for a Lothal Imperial speeder bike, since she's riding a painted and modified version with her, helmet on that she's wearing in that sequence. I think that would be a very cool figure. And plus, getting a figure of Sabine with long hair would be really cool, because I actually liked the long hair look a lot in the Ahsoka series. And just something about the purple and the red underneath, just, I don't know, it was a cool look, I thought. So I'd like to see a figure of that as well. Plus, getting a non-armored version of Sabine would mix things up a little too. And this would be great both in Black Series and VC. And definitely would be easier to do in VC, being a vehicle release, since Black Series tends to stay away from vehicle releases of all kinds now, which is very unfortunate for Black Series fans and collectors. But hey, it is what it is. We got to take it one day at a time, just like everybody else. Now, this new Sabine figure is also fully articulated. Head is on a ball joint. Neck is also on a ball joint within that torso there. Fully articulated shoulders. And once again, this is one of those ones where I like how the pauldrons smoothly just go into that socket. Very nice on the articulation, nice and smooth. Single jointed elbows, wrist joints, upper waist, hips, no upper thigh, but single jointed knees, ankle joints, and that's pretty much it for articulation. And her helmet also has an articulated rangefinder like the last Sabine did. So you can do that too. She also comes with her lightsaber. Now, of course, they try to make it a point, or she tries to make it a point, that it's Ezra's lightsaber And she did make her own modifications, such as a new emitter, which is the big, most notable modification that she made to it. I think, honestly, it's pretty much the only visual modification that we as Star Wars fans can see. I don't know if there were maybe some internal modifications that she made. Maybe she made the power more efficient or something. I don't know. But we do know that she made it more her own, especially with that different emitter there. You can remove the blade. You can have the blade plugged in. Goes in just as easy like a Black Series lightsaber would. Or you can have it hanging on the hook of her belt right here next to her holsters, which you can take her blaster pistols here. So we have the one that has the blue paint on it, which looks pretty cool. You can stick that right there in that holster. We have the other one right here. That one has the yellow paint on it. You can stick that one right here. So there's all of her weapons and gear down to the side, which I think looks pretty good. Or you can have her wielding her weapons and gear. I kind of like to have a blaster in one hand and the lightsaber in the other hand. I think that's a really cool look for Sabine personally. And there she is dual wielding both Mandalorian and Jedi weapons, which she kind of is, spoiler alert, by the end of the series, which was kind of cool and creative. I actually really liked the story and relationship between Sabine and Ahsoka a lot in the Ahsoka series, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where they take those two characters next. Real quick for comparison, here is Sabine next to the other Black Series Sabine Wren that we got from the Rebels series. Now, this is the Season 1 look of Sabine. We still haven't even gotten other versions of Sabine because her armor changed a lot throughout the Rebels series, so I'm glad that we got a new set of armor for Sabine in Ahsoka, especially since not only was her armor very different in between here and here, but she also has more armor in between here and here. So that's another really cool visual change to the character, especially since this version of Sabine and this version of Sabine are about 20 years apart at this point in the timeline. And also for comparison, with their helmets off, honestly, their face sculpts, in my opinion, aren't too far off from each other. This is not bad for a kind of realistic guesstimation on what Sabine could have looked like in live action based off of the Rebels character design. And honestly, I think Lucasfilm cast really well for the live action Sabine, and that the new one captures the original look pretty good. Pretty good in my opinion. So not bad. Not bad. Overall, I think this was a pretty good release of Sabine within the Black Series line. And also, if I'm being totally honest, I like the proportions of this one and think she's a little bit better proportionally scaled than this one was by comparison, especially once you see them side by side in person and once you start standing them next to other figures. I always felt like the other Black Series Sabine that was first released in Phase 3 and then was later updated in Phase 4, and my version, in case you couldn't tell by the face sculpt, is the Phase 3 one. I always felt like she was a little too tall. So that said, I really like the new one a lot. I also like all the paint detail that they actually got on this figure. And I also really like that she comes with a lightsaber this time. Stay tuned for more Black Series reviews. Stay tuned for more Ahsoka reviews, because we do still have other awesome Ahsoka stuff from our Ahsoka mailer box that we've been trying to get to here for your viewing pleasure. So stay tuned for those reviews, guys. They are still coming, but also stay tuned for Rebel Scum Con. Rebel Scum Con's coming up later this summer, June 27th through the 30th at the Allen Convention Center in the Dallas area. To book your experience today, go to Rebel Scum Conventions with an S.com. Once again, that's rebelscumconventions.com to book your Rebel Scum Con experience today. Check out rebelscum.com daily for daily Star Wars fan content, whether it's reviews like these or something else. And check out cooltoyreview.com, our sister website, where there's all kinds of awesome non-Star Wars toy review content, news, and more. And like and subscribe to the Cool Toy Review and Bay 12 YouTube channels for that video content. If you're looking for some awesome Star Wars toys, collectibles, and other merch, go to Order 66 Toys, the world's official all-collectible Star Wars toy store. They go live every single Friday night on the Order 66 Toys Facebook page, and they ship all around the world. And last but not least, check out our free archival website, collectorsoracle.com, where we have all kinds of awesome Star Wars toys and collectibles archived where you can mark things in your collection, mark things you'd like to have in your collection, share those lists with friends, family, and social media alike, and it's all absolutely free. I've already marked off my Sabine in my list, so if you ever see me posting my collectorsoracle.com profile, you will see my Sabine as well as many other figures marked in my collection. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. May the Force be with all of you, you Rebel scum.